AJ Vongphachanh, coming to Utah State, did you really think in high school that this was an opportunity, or how did this opportunity come for you to come to Utah State?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't super heavily recruited out of high school, so it was kind of, I wouldn't say last minute, but it was kind of senior year later offers. It was always something I wanted to do out of high school, is play at the next level. But, I was very fortunate to get this opportunity I think, midway through my senior year, maybe even before, a little bit before. But, I've been made the choice to come here, and, I'm glad I did it.
How big was the win against Washington State for you last year?
Yeah, no, it was huge. I mean, that was one of the places that I really did want to go to out of high school, just because it was so close to home. So, but, I saw it on the schedule and was, fired up to play them. To be able to get that win there with all my family there was huge.
Yeah, obviously was. And just to have the year, you're one of the guys who had to go through the COVID year and some of the other stuff before to have the kind of year last year. What's that like?
I mean, it's great. I mean, it makes you appreciate, that, entire season a lot more, coming from that COVID season, which, there was a lot of other things going on there too, with, that kind of played into how our season went. But, it felt amazing, and a lot of the guys from that season, those seasons are still on the team. So, we're really, appreciative and know what it takes to get to that, to have a season like we did last year.
Because there was a big turnover in, obviously, coaching and in players. And, you look at the roster this year, AJ, and it's kind of still quite a few new guys into this program this year. You meshed it last year. What does it take to do that?
Yeah, I mean, it takes those guys to buy in, and I think those guys have done a really good job of buying in, especially the guys that are coming in and stepping into kind of those bigger roles. I mean, those guys obviously have a chip on their shoulders coming from, other places, and I think they've done a really good job of just buying into what we got here.
Speaking of buying in and a new guy, your linebacker, another guy with you, here's a Utah guy who went to Washington to play, and now he's coming back here. You're from Washington playing here. Now you might play alongside him.
Right. No, he's done a great job. MJ, I mean, from day one, just put his head down and worked. And then, even going into spring, picked up the defensive scheme really well. And, I think he's come a long ways, and I can't wait to see what he does this fall camp.
Because, I mean, hey, Justin Rice is going to be hard to replace. This is a guy who, what is it, the coach said it's like a coach on the field all the time, the way he played football.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's huge. I mean, I learned a significant amount from Justin just from being able to play alongside him for 1 year. And, I think just as a room, collectively we're a lot younger than we were last year. And I think if we just, continue to work, especially, this fall camp's huge for us, and continue to get better, we'll be just fine.
Give us a little rundown on other players at that spot.
Yeah, I mean, we got a like I said, a super young room coming from last year, with Kev and Justin leaving. So I mean, it's me. It'll be me. MJ who's here in the spring, and then also Sione, who is stepping up really well, coming from last year, kind of redshirted, and this spring made a huge jump in the playbook and just kind of being super consistent throughout the whole playbook. But then we got a couple younger guys just in the room, still learning. Max, Josh, even Bronson. So collectively we got a young group, but I know we're ready to get after it, and those guys are ready to learn.
AJ Vongphachanh, what do you have to do to be a better football player for the Aggies? Yeah,
I mean, just going into fall camp, my main goal is be more attention to the smaller things, the little things to improve my game, and kind of just don't get too comfortable out there. Continue to get better, and I think if I'm able to consistently, day by day, get better at the little things, my craft, I'll be just fine.
I mean, last year, I think all of us throughout the season, we kind of were impressed with how the offense can make big plays and win a game at the end. And you guys made some stands. But defense really stood up in those last couple of games. You've got a little bit now to play for to be that kind of defense, all of you guys this year, like you were at the end of last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, looking back, the final stretch of those last games, we really, it was more of a mentality, especially in the run game, to stop that run game. That's going to be a huge emphasis early on, just to continue that mindset and to, limit those runs, those large explosive plays. And, if this group, continues with that mindset, I think we'll be good.
Can you in any way explain to us who are not on the field the difference in football now where you played even in high school to what it's like in college football and the intensity and the physicality and all that? What can you explain that to us?
Yeah, I mean, it was I can still remember how big of a jump it was for me from high school to here. I came in as a defensive end, so I wasn't even playing linebacker. So just that alone, making that transition was huge. Just the game's a lot faster, things are moving a lot quicker. You got to process things. So I think the biggest thing I would say to be able to explain is the game's played in your mind, more so less than physically. So I think that was the biggest thing that I always took was that the jump from high school to college was always a mental barrier more so than a physical one, if that makes sense. But obviously the guys are a lot stronger, a lot faster. You do understand that, but I mean it's definitely a bigger jump. But I love the game, so it makes it easier.
Do you feel that you have to be maybe more of a stand-up leader type guy for this defense because you have had a little more experience than some of the other guys?
Yeah, I'm trying to. That's something I've been working on, even after last season, going into winter, spring, and then even through the summer, leading up to now. That's something that I've tried to focus on, just being more vocal. I've always felt like I was a lead by example guy, but especially as I progress and get older, as something I want to do is just be more vocal, help the younger guys out, and just overall help the defense out.
Okay. And schedule-wise, to be honest, the schedule's probably even harder than last year when you had the good year. The team should beat you in Logan. You got to play them on the road, and then Alabama, and you start to exchange some of those other games, and it's a harder schedule probably.
No, it's a harder schedule, but at the same time, I know our mentality as a team is the same, just an underdog mentality coming with the preseason stuff. I'm sure you've seen the preseason stuff. So nothing's changed from a mental standpoint within the team. We just got to work that much harder though, because we're gonna get everyone's best, and we know that. So as long as we continue to progress, take it week by week, I think we'll be okay.
Well, I know it came together last year, and I've seen a lot of years of Aggie football, and I haven't seen a year like that. And it's special when it happens, and let's hope it can happen again.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like I said, as long as we don't get ahead of ourselves, and just take it week by week and progress through fall camp, I think we'll set ourselves just fine.
Okay, AJ, nice to talk to you. We'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Thank you.